Hi everyone. Hiya. We are going to be doing live zodiac readings. So personal. Okay. So our first sign we're going to do is, should we start with Virgo? Virgo. What does Virgo need to know? Virgo. 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 Okay. So I'll just use 3 cards. So the first card is the fairy godmother. The fairy godmother. So being the fairy godmother, Virgo, it's all about seeing yourself as that queen. The fairy gives wishes. Now, in this card today, you'll find that when you fantasize and visualize about your castle, about your home, this is very important because to have the vision of manifestation is important. Now, the fairy godmother is not only an idea, but a reality for Cinderella. So today, if you're feeling a little bit downtrodden and that there's too much work to do, stop, think, and then don't think, and then go into your intuition and say, please help me, my inner self, my higher self. Okay? So that's the first aspect. There's also an aspiration and an expansion within the mind. And you hold the key to your own heart and your own realities. So sprinkle some magic dust today and just allow that to happen. So you have the 10 of crystals, the 10 of crystals. This is a great card to actually have because it's an abundance and a family time and heritage. Everything is on Christmas Day. So the anticipation of your dreams coming true has come about in a lovely aspect. You can see here that the Father No, is putting fuel in the fire. And that means energy in your soul, energy in your heart. So when you pay attention to the energy in the heart of the matter, then more things can materialize. The children are unwrapping presents and playing with them. This signifies that you have what you want. So if you can tap into your higher self now and bring that down in a greater aspect, then things will lead on from that as well. So your last card today is Guardian of the Hearts. This is a very important card because the call to love is very important. So you may find that those around you are interested in yourself, but on a higher level with the Guardian of Hearts. This is about your love, the aspect that you can become more gentle, more loving. So there's a, let's see if that you can see that. Yeah. So with that, if you call to your higher self, you will find that your love will come. Because the mermaid here, she's got her cup. See the cup with the rainbow. So every single aspect that she desires is hers for the taking. So for yourself to ask and receive is on the cards. So that's really good. So for Virgo, it's a great combination. You can't get any better than that, can you? So sprinkle the magic on your life today. Realize that you do have what you have, which is an abundance, and you can create more of. So this is a really good aspect. Now, where are those cards gone? Oh, yeah, under here. So we're just going to do an oracle card of Whispers of the Sea. You will find all my oracle cards and tarot cards in the description. for affiliate links. Right, Virgo. See what's going on. So your oracle card today is love where you are. Love where you are. Your home is who you are. So embracing your mental and your physical as well as your heart is your home. So embrace yourself and accept yourself. More love can come in than ever before. But you've already got today this tree of life, this tree of wonderment. And when you call what you do want even more, you can just feel that love around you. So this is good. So that's the Virgo reading. So now we're going to do Taurus. It just saves time doing it live, doesn't it? So what does Taurus need to know? Taurus. 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 And then we can do the live personal readings later on in the day. So Taurus, let's have a look. You've got the fairy godmother as well. So with the fairy godmother, this is an aspect where your guide, yourself, has been around for a long, long time. Sometimes the fairy godmother just waits for the opportunity to be able to bless who they're looking after. Sometimes they look after more than one person, but usually your spirit guide looks after you personally. So when you get in touch with your spirit guide, just by closing your eyes, being silent and tapping into that, you may feel them around you. You may hear them around you, but around you they are. So the fairy godmother is very like your spirit guides. Sometimes if you want them to be your, not the same guide, but the angels. If you particularly have an affinity with angels, then tapping into your angel is a good way of going. So what does the fairy godmother do? Well, the fairy godmother gives Cinderella what is in her heart. She desires love because she used to have that when she was in her original family. But she knows deep down, even though she has a hard life, she deserves what every other person deserves. And that is to be loved, have a good, secure, safe environment, and just being able to live her life in peace. So the fairy godmother knows this, and she is trying to teach Cinderella that she can have it. So this is like you today. If you tap into your higher self and ask for what you want, you are going to receive it. So make your wishes come true and don't put limitations on them. I.e., Cinderella had to come back by midnight. So that's putting a limitation. And why was that? Nobody asks the question, why did she have to come back? Because of the self-belief. She didn't quite believe. So if you fully believe, like climbing up a mountain on the peak, then you will have everything that you want, if it's for the good of you and humanity in itself. So what else is going on with Taurus? The Guardian of Hearts. Very much like the other reading, wasn't it, if you're still listening? So the Guardian of Hearts here knows that she can call to anybody, communicate, but she can also, and you can also, really tap into what you do want. So when you manifest things, is it positive or is it negative? So when you do call on aspects, put in the details. The seals down here are the details. The balance between your desires and the reality is your belief system. So when you believe that you can receive love on a higher level, you can. In fact, anyone can. It's just being the open channel. So vibrating and singing your own song to the God force, the power of love that's eternally there. It's going to allow that love to come down to yourself. Okay? So what else do Taurians need to know? The Guide of Wands. So the Guide of Wands here is a person, it's a Pied Piper of Hamilton, and he rids the city of some vermin, too many rats. Does that ring true? So there are a lot of rats in the village that are just causing too much hassle. So he puts his magic situation and leads them to a safe place out of the city. So this card can represent yourself, Taurus, in a way of, are you a leader or are you following? Are you following someone else's thoughts and communication, or are you leading the way? It's important to know that, because sometimes if we don't know the direction we're going in, then we are being led astray without really knowing where. So when we manifest items and thoughts and feelings in our life, we need to know where we're going. We need to plan in a way exactly where it is that you're heading. Sometimes with a car journey, you need to know the destination, but you need to know how to get there. And this card here is very much in how are you getting there. So if you think about that today, then that's quite a good idea. So let's have a look at your oracle, Taurus, to see what's going on. What do Taurus need to know? Okay, so we have a breakthrough to new dimensions. That's really good for you to actually embrace, because dimensions are all on top of each other simultaneously. So when you go in the deep depth of your feelings and the depth of your heart, you may or may not feel the calling to go into spirituality. When you touch on spirituality, true spirituality, then you're open to the God love. And when that happens, you will progress your soul, your spirit. And then eventually, if you do become enlightened spiritually, then you will find that after you can go to the different dimensions. So this is a very important card. It's like a seed. How are you finding your spiritual journey today? Where is that leading you? So this card is very important to know where you are spiritually. And if your inner child has been crying out for that, because your soul journey is your soul journey. So the lessons that you've learned so far are one of those things to reach the higher dimensions in a lifetime. So thank you for listening, Taurus. We're now on our Capricorn friends. Do Capricorns? I'll just have a little drink, otherwise I'll die. I'll have to timestamp these, won't I? All right, let's have a look. So, Capricorn now. Capricorn, what does Capricorn need to know? Capricorn. Capricorn. Okay, let's have a look. It's quite exciting doing it this way, isn't it? Oh, it's hot. Very professional. Right, so our Capricorn friends, what have we got? Oh, what's wrong with the air signs? They're doing exactly the same as everyone. 10 of crystals. So we had this with Virgo. So 10 of crystals is Christmas Day for the gnomes. So they've saved up, they've done all the hard work, they've wrapped the presents, And now it's time to just relax. Relax in family time. Relax that financially everything's ahead. Usually in Christmas time in the Northern Hemisphere, it's a time to be still in the winter and reflect what's gone on. So today for Capricorns, this is a good time to reflect. The mother gnome has got a new baby. So this is going to spring into next year, all the new ideas and all the new thoughts. For some of you, this may signify that you are going to expand your family even greater. So that's a good aspect. Also, for people who didn't listen to the Virgo one, the dad is putting a log on the fire. This is a tradition in England where on the 1st of January, a handsome male used to come into your house to give you a piece of coal. This was always good luck and brought good fortune. So the father knows this. He wants to provide for his family even more and more and more. So where are you putting your log in your fire? That didn't mean how it was come out if you've got a mind like mine. But the energy that you're putting into your life is important. And the hearth is the heart of the house. And often in the olden days, guys would just stand there like that and own it. So where are you owning your own energy and where are you owning your own light? Here with the Christmas tree, you can see the candles up the tree. This signifies your chakras opening up to more energy. So this is important for you to realize perhaps. Right, Capricorns, you have the big bad wolf. So the big bad wolf is an important aspect in Red Riding Hood story. So where is the big bad wolf in your life? Who's lurking in the shadows? What's lurking in the shadows? The aim of the wolf is to do his nature. So the nature of the big bad wolf is hunger. So this signifies a very base chakra, doesn't it? The desire, the focus on food, the focus on perhaps he's just having a little bit of fun. Because not all animals in nature are just killing for the sake of it. Have you ever seen certain mammals in the sea and they play with the food? You know, it seems a bit... And I think the big bad wolf did that with Red Riding Hood, especially when he manipulated her to think that he was grandma. So maybe you can reflect what it is in your life that you're trying to get away from. What's lurking in those shadows? What's tempting you to be hoodwinked, so to speak? So that's an aspect. And of course, big bad wolf here is in the moon. So the moon has phases. So what phase are you going through that you're trying to pull away from or escape from? So have a think about that, perhaps. Capricorn, you've got the 5 of Hearts. So for the Capricorn with the 5 of Hearts, here it always signifies a little bit of loss, doesn't it? But here in this card, she's found a heart in the treasure chest. There is a ship on the water next to the star. So sometimes when ships go away in the sea, it's like they've lost something. So this card signifies loss, but it also signifies, as you guys know, gain. She's sitting on 2 turtles, which is life and wisdom itself. Also, in some cultures, turtles stand for fortune, good fortune. So today, even though you may lose something, and breaking away from old habits will be a good idea. And you've also got this card. So this card on a mental level is a good fortune card. If you can put those emotions to bed kind of thing, look deeper into your heart at what needs to be lost. Bye-bye. But also what needs to be found, your self-respect and your self-love, okay? So we'll just do an oracle card. All my cards are in the affiliate links down below. So Capricorn we're on, aren't we? Capricorn. What does Capricorn need to know? Capricorn. All right, let's have a look. So we have keeping it in check. So we've got sea otter. Pay attention to what is going on around you. That's the big bad wolf. You might be moving into something too quickly or missing some important details. That's what they say. So this otter, as you can see, is diving deep into the water for food or just playing or observing. So when you do observe things around you, especially people, I think for Capricorns, it's definitely people. Look at the body language. Look at the subtleness that's going on, because it's in those fine details that you'll get the true information. Some of you are always finding you're waiting for communication. So when is it that the person that you're waiting for, when do they communicate? There are subtle differences all the time with how people are communicating, why they're communicating, and the how. So these are some subtleties, but there might be others that you can think of. Your nourishment. Sometimes when the otter goes down here, he's drowning. He's drowning in emotions. So this is where the big bad wolf, the emotional disattachment, especially with the this card here, do. So have a look at that. I'm trying to find that honesty to yourself, and then you'll find your own answers today. Does that make sense, Capricorn? Right, thanks for listening, and we'll carry on with air signs, I think. Right, I'll have a drink, otherwise I'll die. Right, what did I say? Air signs. We'll start with Libra. Right, okay. So Libra. Try not to pull the same cards out. Libra, what does Libra need to know? Libra. Okay. I like the inner child cards. They're great, aren't they? Okay, so for Librans, let's have a look. So we have the Eight of Swords card. So the Eight of Swords is taking your mind maybe down an old passage, an old thought process that keeps reoccurring time and time again. So one needs to light the way and revise that thought process. Is it an old thought that you think of yourself? You're not worth it. You don't, you know, all these things we tell ourselves, you know, and these thoughts have come from other people and other people's opinions. But if we don't get the proper nurturing as a child, your parents saying, you're doing good, that's really good, even when it's not, and the right encouragement, of course, we're going to pick up the negative thoughts and we're going to keep them and keep them and keep them. So it just happens. It's human nature. It's not being nasty or anything. It's just some people think competition is one of the ways to get ahead as an adult. So you might get teachers judging, because it is a form of judging. Competition is a form of judging. So teachers will reward the very best in the class. Now, what effect does that have as you as a child? So you see Jane and John getting all the rewards every single week or every single day. How's that going to make you feel? It's going to make you feel inadequate and not good enough. They have subtle differences all through life. Oh, I've never achieved. So you compete, but it's not about competition. We've all got these special qualities, and we don't have to be first in everything. We really don't. All right, you cards can fall down if you want. So these thought processes need to be revised, because we've got them. they're in our mindset and they're not going away. So we need to make them go away. Eternally, we're not like that. So the spider in the corner is weaving a web. It's a trap. It's your mind doing what it's doing. It is very much like what you put in, it regurgitates and gives you back. But because the mind isn't you, you're in control. So revising these old thoughts about yourself, look at it, no, that's not who I am now, and throw it away. If you want. Right, what else is going on for Librans? Hansel and Gretel, very balanced. I said Libra, didn't I? Yeah. So we've got Hansel and Gretel here. So poor Hansel and Gretel, they had a tough life, didn't they? We talked about not winning first in the class every week. But Hansel and Gretel, every fairy tale has a good father, but they don't seem to have a good mother. What's that all about? So Hansel and Gretel, they get thrown into the forest. So you can see here the bird on the branch has got their heart. So some form of higher self has got your good intentions at heart today. So this is about love, sibling love, but it's also about universal love as well. So when you're thrown into danger or a little unsure thing, oh, should I go in this situation or should I stay back? This card says, go forward even when you feel afraid. When you feel afraid, choose bigger aspects. And if you meet the challenge now, you'll win. So this is what Hansel and Gretel are teaching you today. Go forward, even when you're a little bit scared. The good intentions of God, your spirit guides and angels, and everyone else, including you, has got your good intentions. So moving away from the frightened thought patterns will allow you to overcome what you need to overcome right now. So that's really good for you guys. So we have Cinderella. So we have Cinderella here. Cinderella is sitting in the moonlight by her mother's grave. Her mother has passed over and obviously she feels very sad. So the tree here, it does spring into life with the birds. Cinderella has a lot of help, just like yourself. So even though it's a sad mourning card, the phase that she's going through is from childhood into adulthood. So the phases that she's going through is almost like, wow, the wonderment that I've got now, because she's had the fairy godmother and now she's getting all her wishes and dreams come true. So just because things have happened not so good to her, like the illusions of your life, there's also goodness coming. So if you can actually put away the negative feelings and really embrace your challenge, it will come. It comes in phases, but it is going to come. So for Libra, let's have a look at the oracle, see what's going on with that. So what does Libra need to Libra. Okay, so you have resilience, the turtle. So it says there is no need to rush or push. This is a time to take things as they come. You have the determination and patience to handle what is happening. So there is no rush, but the challenges that are around, you are able to handle. You can notice in this card that there is a heart in the water. You also notice perhaps that there are 3 turtles. So this is very much like the 3 of Cups. The 3 of Cups is about socially being together. That's your body, mind, and spirit, all coming together to allow yourself to feel the change about. This is very much like the Hansel and Gretel, that you choose now to move forward when you're all in balance with everything else. So that's quite interesting. I hope you enjoyed that, Libras. Right, let's do another side. Gemini. Right. Gemini. I like the inner child cards. Gemini. Okay. Right, 1, 2, 3. Let's have a look. So Geminis have got the Ace of Swords here. So young Arthur, he knows his destiny. So today, perhaps, Gemini, you know your destiny. Where is the strength of character to inspire yourself with that one thought, just one, to release that thought and run with it? So sometimes finding inspiration, it can be difficult, but sometimes going after your soul purpose is frightening. So when you have the opportunity to release that thought, embrace it, and follow that thought into manifestation and action, it's going to allow the destiny of your life, no matter how hard and difficult it can be. So sometimes with young King Arthur, he has to make some very important decisions. So perhaps today, Gemini, your decision is going to be equally hard today, or it's going to be easy. Either way, one has to make that decision. Moving on, Gemini. Order of the day today. The Guardian of Hearts. When you hold your heart, you have your whole life in your hands. Heart is a very important organ, but the heart chakra is very, very important. It what spirals the energy to you. It's a portal into the divine love. It is a portal into the connection with everyone else. So the Guardian of Hearts today is extremely important to channel that love to you. So when you're making a decision, you may need to think about doing it with love and intention. And when you put the intention and love, everything else falls into place. So always remember, you're in charge of your own heart and what you feel. I know people say, oh, well, this person made me feel like that. But if we got stronger in our love aspect, then people digging away a little bit isn't really going to have an effect. So we have to make our heart bigger and bigger and bigger. So if it gets knocked a little, doesn't matter. We can heal that bit. So if you remember, you're in charge of your heart and all the love that comes in. Do the meditation, channel it down. This is a double message for you guys. Typical Gemini. Double message. You got the Seeker of Hearts as well. So it is, isn't it? So if you're feeling a little bit lost in the heart, then the Tin Man here, he thought he didn't have a heart, didn't he? But he did all the time. He was very soft-hearted and very lovable. So this will signify somewhere in you, you're extremely lovable and you have a lot to give. So this is perhaps why you have the Guardian of Hearts. You are the Guardian of Hearts. Now, because you've got the Seeker of Hearts, someone might reflect back to you just how beautiful you are. So when you make this decision to grow your heart even more and be empathetic to yourself and accepting of yourself, that you are all love and you can receive and give love on a greater level. Does that make sense? So if you want to think about the Tin Man and just how he helped his friends, he had sympathy, he had empathy. And together, that whole story has so many meanings. But let's have a look at the oracle. Let's see what's going on with Gemini. Oh, everyone's here. Hello, people. I'm right. I'm only doing zodiac signs, and then I'll come back at noon and I'll do personal readings. Sorry about that. So, oracle for Gemini. I just thought it'd be quicker doing it this way. I'm getting lazy in the old day. Right, okay. So, Gemini, we have change direction with ease. This is the time for change, shape-shifting, or your soul's evolution. It is time to reconsider what you are wanting. You may be in for a surprise. So that's very interesting, isn't it? When you've got the decision card and you've got this call of keeping your heart, because sometimes the direction that we're going in is good, but we could find inspiration to go somewhere else. Now, I read a book once. Yeah, I know. It was about being over 50 or whatever. And it was ages ago that I read it. And the advice in it was, oh, I'm 60 or whatever, but I want to do this subject as a degree. And it's like, oh, I'm too old, they were saying in the book, and blah, blah, blah. And someone said, right, how long does it take to get your degree? They say 4 years. So they said, right, okay, so it takes 4 years. So if you didn't do the degree, how old would you be? 64. And if you did the degree, how long would you be? 64. So the years are still going to go. So you've either got a degree or not got a degree. So it stuck with me, and it's very true. It's like what you invest in takes time. But if you don't do it, you're still where you are. But if you do it, you're somewhere else. So sometimes people want to change direction in career or change direction in love or whatever. So this is a message. If you're trying to find your inspiration and also make a decision, put your heart into this and just see where your true love is. Does that make sense? Right, Gemini. Thank you for listening. If you did listen. Right, and now we're on Aquarius. Aquarius. Whoops. Aquarius. 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 Okay. Right, let's see what's in for Aquarius today. So we have Seeker of Wands. So Dorothy is very excited, really, about her journey. Maybe she's had a little bit of boredom at home and it's all mundane, all the same. So she decides in her mind to go on a journey, and a journey she does go on. So when you have the Seeker of Wands, this is like an innocent look at what is going on in your life. What can you create? Dorothy created a lot of imagination and a lot of thoughts and feelings along the way. She has a faithful dog here with her, which is very like the Fool card. So she is imitating the Fool, the soul journey, the journey of life. The illusion of the Wizard is very much in this card, and he's sitting in the balloon. So somewhere today, perhaps, some thoughts may not be as true. Some informations may not be true. But Dorothy knows that her home, because in this card, she is wearing the ruby slippers. She knows her home is very close. This signifies that your guardian angels, your spirit guides are with you. So no matter what new decisions you're making and following, You've got your faithful dog that she relies on a lot as her comfort. That is a part of our home. So any challenges that you're going into next, whenever, you can know that you are home. You're already home and you're inspired to just go out there in the adventure and see what's going on. Does that make sense? Right, Aquarius, what else is going on? Seven of Swords. So the Seven of Swords here is about this child. It reminds me of doing homework or whatever and thinking, oh, do I have to? But here, the Seven of Swords is very important because in the daydreams, you can see better opportunities. So he's writing in the scroll, but it's not quite written down. When you see a scroll like that, it signifies that the past is gone and the future is not written. So writing your own script, seeking out the adventures, writing what you do want will allow your future to be like you want, instead of someone else pulling you here and pulling there, making the decision to control and be the captain of your own ship. So when thoughts are all over the place, try and be concise and more focused perhaps, but you are allowed to daydream and visualize, and sometimes taking out time for yourself to do that is very, very important. Right, Aquarius, what else? Sleeping Beauty. So you are doing daydreaming. So perhaps for you, heavy dreaming is what's required. When we go unconscious, a lot of things happen. When you go to the dream state, if you notice, it's very emotional. It's very colored. Do you dream in color? Now here, there is a spiritual fairy coming down, a guardian angel on a white horse. So when you do sleep, you're very protected. So when you visualize now and manifest what you do want, you will wake up and that will be your reality. But for some, if we don't write down and plan what we want, we're going to wake up and nothing's changed, nothing's happened. So it's very important in life to unconsciously be aware the subtleties that you're going to change when you are conscious. So this is, I think for you today, this is about time. There is no rush, but there is a time. Don't wake up at the end of your life and go, I wish I had more time to do X, Y, and Z. So be conscious today about what it is that you may be letting the opportunities slip by. Does that make sense? Right, we're going to be doing an oracle card to see what Aquarius needs to know. Aquarius. All right, so you have, take note. Your answers are being given to you. Quietening external voices and excessive noise will give you the chance to hear what is being offered. So this, again, is very important when you're assessing what it is, because it is in the unconscious time where we can hear certain things. So when we do wake up, we know exactly what it is, where we're going. So these seals are playing, and you can notice that it's very much like the yin and yang. So where is the balance today that you can assess what it is that you need to know? So quietening the mind is essential. Instead of having these little fishes distracting you, which is the noise, it's just concentrating on the eternal aspect of who you are. Does that make sense? Right, now we're going to do water signs. Oh, might as well. Right, water. We'll start with Scorpio. Is that all right? Scorpio. 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 All right. 3 cards for our Scorpio friends. See what's going on. The 8 of Wands. So for some of you, you might have too many sticks in the fire. I forgot the expression. Which just means that a lot of energy is coming your way. There might be a little bit too much going on. But all in all, it is quite good when working together to create harmony. Everything does start from fire. The sun gives the energy to the earth, and the earth gives to all. So there is a connection between those two things. The sun, which is the energy, is like God, the life force, beaming down onto the earth. So we can hear that with the energy, and we can feel that. There's an owl in the tree here, which gives you inspiration. So the thoughts that are coming to you quite fast, perhaps, or even action is coming to you quite fast. If you allow the spiritual nature of that to manifest, then you can create even more. You can see that all these friends are around the fire. So conversations with friends and family could inspire you to make a change and really act on many things today. Okay, Scorpio, what else have we got? Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast. I love this story. Beauty and the Beast is a very great story because it has so much empathy. I don't know if you know Beauty and the Beast, but the lady here, she had to stay with the beast because of the roses. And the roses in the garden are 2 different aspects of ourselves, which I won't go into. But this card today for Scorpios is, where is your empathy and sympathy for others? Or where is the empathy for yourself? Because sometimes we go, oh, I've had such a hard life and this situation is really driving me nuts, and blah, whatever you're telling yourself. So this is telling you, have strength and empathy for your situations around you. When you have that, your heart will open even bigger and the way will actually find itself. So your home is where you are, which means that your direction that you're going right now is going to be your home. Not home as in a house or whatever, but how you feel comfortable and relaxed, and have gone through many different aspects to learn. So something, for instance, may not feel completely right because you're assessing it with your mind and your heart. But in the long run, where you may be right now is exactly where you should be. So this is where the empathy for your situation is coming about. Does that make sense? Right, Scorpio. Child of Hearts. So you have Goldilocks here that is peeking into a home, another home. So the window of opportunity is here. So these birds up here have made their nest. They know where their home is and they know where they feel comfortable. But Goldilocks doesn't. She has to investigate all situations. So she has taken courage, like here, to go in and have a look at different aspects, different ways of living. So today, this is a reminder for you to have a look at different aspects of love, different aspects of testing the waters. So maybe you thought, I want a new relationship, or I want a new career, or whatever it is. Things are going to come to you fast when you put the energy into it. So where is your home? So this is, where do you feel homely, secure and at peace, and you know it's yours, you feel safe? Because this is safety, isn't it, as well? How you feel safe within aspects. So when you're meeting different people and new people, how are you reacting? Do you have empathy? Do you have sympathy for things? This can be a very homely feel to it. We associate with people that are like us sometimes, but when people are different, we need to understand that this might be an opening opportunity for us to grow as humans. So it's always good to challenge ourselves in meeting new people and different circumstances. Being social can be okay. So you never know what could eventuate through that. Are we going to be like the bears in Goldilocks and be angry, or are we going to accept the newness that's in our situation? But being social and just understanding who we are will allow ourselves to love ourselves and feel more secure in any type of situation. So I hope that makes sense. Right, shall we do Cancer next? Cancer. What does Cancer need to know today? What does Cancer need to know today? Cancer. Okay. Cancer. So I have 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. Right, for Cancerians, we have Guide of Swords. The Guide of Swords. So with Robin Hood, we all know that story where he took from the rich, from the tax people, gave to the poor. Now, with the Guide of Swords, that is a mental aspect. Where can you gather your thought process and then teach people or tell people, communicate? So it's very much about taking action, but sometimes it's about learning that the old ways might not be good. Robin Hood thought he was being good all the time. And maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. Who am I to assess what's happened? But the Guide of Swords needs to kind of go forward, not backwards. So taking from others is a lack of thinking in that you're not rich enough. I mean, maybe this was a time, but for the Guide of Swords to really embrace equality in the population is to empower people to think for themselves and make money for themselves, because money is a form of energy. So what energy are we perhaps taking from other people and maybe giving it to ourselves or directing it to someone? So money and energy and possessions and value is all one, but it's how we value ourselves. So the Guide of Swords here, rushing around, taking, and when you think backwards into your life and do the same thought patterns, it can take your energy away. So being more open and honest, perhaps with yourself and others around you, might make things a little bit easier along the journey today. So for Cancer, what else have you got? The 8 of Crystals. So the 8 of Crystals is the girl skating, and she's skating, she's not even skating on thin ice. She's making the pattern of eternal. She's left it open though. This card has left it open. So she's allowing the energy to enter her in an aspect which will create even more. So there's an aspect here where bringing in from the future, from her future self, the thoughts and the process of love and eternal life. But there's also here learning about how she can put that when she's finished playing, which she's not, she's assessing with her expansion of communication as well. So this is all to do with learning, extra learning for what you do need. But for today, this is communication. So where is your communication? And where do we need to tap into the energy to put that into practice? So maybe you're waiting for communication, or maybe you want to communicate. So finding the honesty to communicate and learning better ways of learning to do things better, kind of thing. So the last aspect for you guys, the Emperor's New Clothes. So the Emperor's New Clothes is a very, it's all about dishonesty here. What's going on? So they try to hoodwink the Emperor and say, oh, here's your clothes, because he was a bit arrogant and whatever. So he needed to be taught a lesson. So he did. So instead of giving him the best gowns in the kingdom, he got nothing. So he was very exposed. So today you might feel you're a little bit exposed. So when going out communicating, just know who you are and how you're going to formulate what you need to say and your own opinions. Because if someone's going to hoodwink you or try to persuade you in their way of thinking when you don't want that, then that's going to be a danger, because you could say yes or no to a situation where you want to say the opposite. So that's a kind of an important aspect. So for Cancer, let's see what oracle cards you need. Cancer. Rediscover your zeal. That's good. Pay attention to the passion you are feeling for discovering. Learning, exploration, spiritual travel, your work, or your relationship. Passion and desire go together, especially as inspiration. So the inspiration that you may be finding today is being honest to yourself. So instead of sitting there and not doing your inspiration and the truth of what is going on, find that passion, find the inspiration, do the learning, what's coming in, because there is a gap in your future. It's almost like these cards when they say nothing is written in stone. So the new opportunities that can enter for Cancer at the moment is quite new, exciting. So embrace that on a bigger level. What's that card doing there? And take ideas from people. Take the inspiration, like Robin Hood. He is but it's not taking, it's borrowing. It's all there. It's not going anywhere, the information. No one takes it and then hides it and it's gone forever. It's all there for all to use. Okay? So I hope that's helped, Cancer. And now I'm going to do Pisces. I'm going to move those cards. So we'll do Pisces next. Takes ages, doesn't it? That's why I did it live. Right, we'll do our friends the Pisces. 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 Okay. Right. So we have the little red cap. So this is the beginning of the journey today for Pisces. So the little red cap is Little Red Riding Hood. So she has the butterfly there to inspire her on her soul journey. It's a very important journey and she has to learn many lessons. So for you today, what are you equipped with to go through your day? What are you equipped to go to find that comfort of grandma in her house? to allow the wise and you as a youngster going through life itself. So grandma can be your spirit guide or God itself, and you can be this person that has to learn quite a few lessons. Are you going to skip around and talk to the fairies on the way and maybe eat a few berries? Or are you going to meet the big bad wolf and get tempted away from what you're trying to align in your soul journey into? So do you even know what your soul purpose is today or not? So the Fool card, because that's what it is, the Fool has many lessons to learn along the way. So where are you in your life today? So that is a question to you. It's very important when this card comes up to go, well, where am I? Because as you perhaps know, with tarot, the Fool can be placed at, that's why it's 0, eternally. It can be placed anywhere in the tarot deck, anywhere along your journey. But it's always good to remember that if you have an innocence that everything's just great and there for you to learn, then we don't get fear and we don't get, oh, I can't deal with this situation. She never said that to the wolf. Oh, big bad wolf, go away, help, help, you know, I'll just run back to my mum. No, she's on a journey. She's heading straight to grandma's house. Right, what else have you got? 3 of crystals. 3 of crystals, Pisces. So this is a great time to mess around, play, cooperate, and expand learning. They're on this yellow road, which is like the yellow brick road. It is the journey of life itself. But this is working as a team. The crystals are like the 3 of Pentacles. So working as a team to explore new avenues. You'll see the skipping rope is a rainbow. So this is different vibrations coming into you. So having a look at colour is very important. Perhaps the yellow in this card is significant to you. So the yellow will bring learning and understanding, but you'll feel in your stomach what is right for you today. So it's also about fertility as well. So when certain people look at that, especially in the stomach area, do you want a child? Just saying, just saying. Mother goose. Yes, you do. Perhaps. So you've got the mother goose here. So that aspect might be a nurturing issue as well, because the mother goose is also about nurturing. The mother goose here is a very clever woman. She knows that the goose who lays the golden eggs. So she is like the giver of life, the giver of manifestation. So she knows if you ask, she will give it to you because you deserve it. So if some of you are trying to start a family, start a new project, just ask Mother Goose because she's in charge. She is the Empress. She is the all-knowing Mother Earth. The Mother Earth is our home, and she gives. Whatever you want now, you can get. So what you learn and give to yourself is an abundance is clear. So to start on learning that to nurture yourself is a good aspect, is perhaps the birth itself. So some of you perhaps haven't been on this journey before. So that's why it's interesting to start. So let's have a look at the Oracle card for Pisces. Pisces. Right. Clearing the access. You're entering a transitional phase and would benefit from clearing away excess clutter, whether it is in your physical body or your physical space. So clearing away things is always a good thing because it leaves a nice, tidy, clear that we can think and we can emotionally look at. There's no point looking at clutter because that's just blocking our energy path. So this is an important aspect before we start on the journey, before we get the new ideas and inspirations. So you might want to have a look at that if you want. So that's Pisces done. Oh, right, okay. So now, are we on fire signs? Who did I start with? Oh, it's all... we're on fire signs anyway. We'll start the other way now. Start with Aries. Always a good place to start. Aries. Three more signs to go, the fire signs. Aries. Aries. Oh, can't shuffle. Aries. Right, that's enough of that. Right, for our Aries friends, let's have a look. Aha. So Aries has got Beauty and the Beast. So this is about courage, but it's also about, like I said with the other sign, about empathy. But I think for Aries, we're tapping into that almost like obedience, because Bella here, she said, she listened to her father when the father says, no, you've now got to live with the beast. Sounds awful. So because she loved her father so much that she obeyed. And along the way, she learned many lessons. And Bella taught the beast many things. So what in your life can you teach just by being your innocent, gentle self, aspects around you to adopt your way of gentleness and beauty? So today, if you can tap into the innocence and purity of accepting love on a greater level, then the strength in two people joining together is dynamic and very, very powerful. So this is perhaps the lesson that Aries needs to adopt today. Does that make sense? Right, Aries. Whoa, 10 of Hearts. So the 10 of Hearts here is that fantastic, everlasting love, loads of love, no problem. So the mermaid here, she can bring love in, but she can give love out. So this eternal connection to not only herself and the God spirit and the love itself, she can generate that and channel the love onto the planet, channel the love to everybody. So this is perhaps a card for yourself to adapt as well. So the innocence, the love, the connection to everything is out of love. So eternal love is for you. This is also the 10 of Cups. And you know 10 of Cups is emotional satisfaction. So today, where in your life can you just accept that love is all around you? And love is eternal. There's no shortage. There's enough for everybody. So if you can kind of adopt that, then real spiritual love and love in its blissful state is there for you. Be innocent in the way. Be like Bella. Yes, 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 yes. In a good way, in a powerful way, empowering way. Not in a negative way. A bit like this. Right, what's going on here? 5 of Swords. So with Aries today, perhaps this is a lesson to not listen to certain people, to allow yourself to have a break. This is about a break. So if you need a break from life itself kind of thing, have a break, have a day off. Say, no, I now need time to reflect on what is going on in my life. I don't need to just be like a robot doing things dum, 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 dum. So this boy, he got off his raft. He left his friends behind. And now he's talking to new friends, new ideas, and new inspirations to go in his journey of life. It is very important to do that. So the next day, he will find that he's got his power back. He's taken the break. He's juggled around different ideas, and he can move away from the old ones if he wants to. He can pick them up if he wants. Maybe not wise, but if he does want, then that's his choice. So let's find a oracle card for you. Aries. What does Aries need to know? Aries. Okay, so you have seeing both sides. Take a step back and try looking at this from a different perspective. Hammer shark. So there are many sides to an equation. So if this kind of effect is going on about these new opinions and walking away from sides, you can reflect in the night time. And then, as I said, if you want to pick that up again in the morning, that's fine. But sometimes it takes a neutral stance to see both sides. I've been in situations where I've heard two people arguing and fallen out. I've listened to both sides and they were both right. Now, how does that work? How can you fall out about something, but both of them are right? So to see both sides is interesting because, after all, the situation that's going on is just an opinion. So seeing both sides is clever, but then see another side and just play with that and see if it's the most important thing. Why are people falling out over something that's not that important? So when you come from a part of love and acceptance, it doesn't necessarily have to be so out of harmony, does it? So that's that. Right, another fire sign. Should we do Sagittarius? Sagittarius. And we'll do Leo last. Poor Leo. Right, Sagittarius. Hiya, Kay and Nat. What star sign are you? Kay and Nat. If you're still here. Oh, right, who is it? Sagittarian. We're just doing zodiac signs, and then I'll do personal readings at 12 or whenever. Oh, but I'm just getting this done because this takes ages for me, hours. So I thought if I come on live, I'll just get it done all in one go. Time management. Right, Sagittarius. Sagittarius. Okay, Sagittarius. Unos, dos, tres. Okay, let's have a look. Seven of Swords. So Sagittarians have got the Seven of Swords here. So the little boy is maybe writing a letter to himself. Maybe he's writing a letter to someone else. But what he's done is stopped. He stopped his thought process to look outside to see what's available. He sees the ship and he wonders, he fantasizes, oh my goodness, what's it like to go on a ship? What's it like to go on a journey? Am I going to be the captain or am I going to be the crew? What will we find? Will we find treasure? Will we find a new plant or a new country? What is it that we're going to find? So it is with fantasy and thought and imagination that brings this child to inspire himself to think of other things and other possibilities that he hasn't really been inspired before to actually do. Or see it another way. Like I said in the other reading, there are always more sides to the story. Maybe he's thinking, oh, my dad's on the ship. Will I ever see him again? He might die. He might drown. What if I never see him again? He might think like that. So when you're sitting there pondering on aspects, what are you going to write down? This scroll is your life. Like you're writing your life. You don't know what's happened in the past, or you should forget what's in the past and write your future. Write your own timeline, what's going to happen. Okay? What other aspects do we need to know? The Emperor's New Clothes. With the Emperor's New Clothes, it's a story of there was this person, the Emperor, who wasn't particularly a very kind person to his subjects, his people in his court. So they played a little trick on him. So he wanted the best gown in the whole kingdom, and he kind of demanded it. But they hoodwinked him, and he had no clothes. He said, this is fine, and it was a magic robe. So sometimes when we present ourselves to people, we can be a little bit, not false, but we need to be more humble in the way we approach people. We need to adopt the humbleness that gives us a non-judgmental aspect. So he did learn his lesson, and then he was nicer. But the Emperor is all about ruling and starting. So start your script here and write your own story in a humble, gentle way. So you have the Nine of Hearts, Sagittarius, the Nine of Hearts. So this mermaid, she knows how to receive the fountain of youth. So all these emotions that are coming towards her, she knows how to deal with it. She knows where to go. The 9 is not quite a 10, but that doesn't matter to her because she knows how to assess it. So you today, Sagittarius, know where your heart is. Know how you can have the desire to lead yourself in a way that you can write your own script. You can see, you can visualize, you know. As I said, this is a 9 and it needs to be a 10. So when you've achieved all your goals and ambitions, not all of them, but some of them, what you've achieved today, you've done well. But where can you do even better? Yes, you're the Emperor. Well done. And you've got all the love in the world. Not quite. But what do you need to write to set sail your ambition, to alight it, to put action, to really grasp it on an emotional level? These are the questions I ask you. Right, Sagittarius, what is your oracle card? All oracle cards and all my decks can be found in the affiliate links down in the description. Thank you. So what does Sagittarius need to know? Right. Oh. The gift of neutrality. That's really good. Balance is at work in your life. Yin and yang are opposites in energy, but reside side by side to create the gift of neutrality. This is very important. Being neutral, there is no judgment. When we judge, like the Emperor, his subjects judged that he was just being unfair. Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. But when you're neutral, you just allow things to come about. You're not over judgmental and over powering in that way. He was powering. He was a little bit aggressive. He wasn't assertive. There's a difference. So when we're neutral, we can see many, many sides of an equation. We can feel the love even better than before. So there has to be harmony and not disharmony. So that's where the balance is. We need the male energy for the action, and we need the yin energy for the introvertedness, the passive and nurturing aspect. So the yin and the yang is very important. So I hope that's helped. Just look at balance and neutral aspects to allow the life today to manifest and just go. It's almost like going with the flow, non-judgmental. That's your message today, non-judgmental. Right then, should we do Leo? Should we sing happy birthday? Happy birthday. Are we still on Leo, aren't we? What date is it? oh. Right, Leos. Leo. 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 Okay. Leo. Right, the first card, Mother Goose. So Leos, happy birthday if it is your birthday and you've got Mother Goose giving you a golden egg. What more do you want? So this is a very nurturing card as well. So if you ask today what you want in life, the abundance is around you. The Mother Goose will only give to those who ask. So ask and you will receive. It's as simple as that. It's a connection we all have to everything and everywhere. So when the Mother Goose is high above, which is an analogy for God, your guardian angels, and your higher self, and your soul purpose, if you connect with that and nurture that aspect, what are you giving to yourself? Are you giving yourself grief, or are you giving yourself love? So when you give to yourself, a lot more can happen, because like attracts like. So if you give yourself love now, then more love will come. If you give yourself permission to fantasize about your fantastic goals, then the goals will come. So it's all about manifesting and nurturing what it is that you do want in your life. Does that make sense? Leo, Seven of Crystals. So the Seven of Crystals is a time to reflect and have patience with your goals. You've asked for your goal now and your ambition, and now you have to do some little bit of work. Maybe visualize your goal, maybe write your goal down, honor your goal, make a little altar in your home where it's sacred, and allow your goal to manifest. Visualize, write it down. Okay, and instead of feeling like it's not achievable, believe that it is achievable. Nurture, yes, I know this is going to happen. If it's to your greater good, your soul purpose, then it'll happen. So for Leos, you've got the Guardian of Crystals. This is a great card for you to have because you now hold the world. So this indicates for Leos, you will get your ambition, but you have to put in the hard work. This is the hard work and asking. You can't just go, oh yeah, it's going to happen. If it's meant to happen, it'll happen, which is fine. But if we don't do the groundwork, if we don't feed the roots, we can't grow into a strong bark of a tree, and then we can't branch out. But the Guardian of Crystals here is holding the whole world. So an analogy that you hold your own world. You look after it, it's healing, heal your body, heal your mind, your spirit, and then you hold a channel to so much more. Does that make sense? So that's a very lucky, fortunate day for you. If you're into manifestation of any sort. Right, last oracle card for Leo, and then we'll see what's going on. What does Leo's need to know? Okay, so you have in the light of the moon. A full moon can shine light on what you have been resisting. This can be anything from your fears to your soul's beauty. So this is about phases of the moon, and what you think or what have you thought is not possible because we just discussed everything is possible for you. So believe in that and know it to be a universal truth. What you think is what you are. So if you think poverty thoughts, then you can't have the abundance thoughts, because even though those two go hand in hand and opposites, it's pushing and pulling like that. So that's kind of in two ways, a pathway, and you need to go, which way do you want to go down? But remember, you hold the whole world in your hands, and you can nurture and give to yourself in abundance. Okay, does that make sense? Right, Leo, happy birthday. And thank you everyone who may have been watching, could be watching, or never going to watch. You'll find all my decks in the affiliate links down below. If you want to become a patron, that'll be fantastic. And if you want to have a live personal reading, I'll probably be on a little bit later. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you again. And lots of love to you. Thank you. Bye. Gone. Right, I'm ending the stream.